and welcome back to The Final Bell, proudly presented by GMHBA, the official health insurance partner of the Geelong Cats. I'm kicking us off once again because Lingy is still on holidays. Now, I've got my mate Shannon Byrnes with me. Byrnesy, we know how keen you are to get on the pod. Welcome. Was that influenced at all by the comment section on YouTube last week? Did you see any of it?
I did not see the comments, but my friend Zach Tui reminded me that he got the first call up. And yes, I did notice you walked past Tuesday morning, 9:30, and realised Lingy was away, and I wasn't coming upstairs. But yeah, look, Zach did a good job. A little bit cheeky at the start of the pod. A little bit cheeky,
and I must say that people have responded.
Yeah, okay. I haven't read the comments, but yeah, he fired a few shots. Yeah. Comments,
the text messages were rolling in. It's not about, obviously it's not about you.
Not at all.
And Lingy, it's not about you either. It's just...
No, but...
We just love Reg.
Yeah, he threw a few stones in glass houses for a guy that oils his moustache and he's pretty happy with his own work. Yeah, he came at me with the reflective surfaces. I did see that. And
oh, you did?
Yeah. But no, he's a very good media performer. I must give him his due credit, and he's transitioned beautifully into the media area of the industry, and did a good job. But yeah, it certainly feels weird to be filling the shoes of someone filling the shoes.
Yeah. No, he's doing it. He's doing a great job. I don't know how he would front up to a loss today. What do you reckon?
No, I think he's very much responsible for what's happened this week. So.
Yeah, and I must say we had a night away as a team, and I was on the roads listening to K-Rock and special comments by one Zach Tui in the game on the weekend, and it was during the first quarter where we were flying.
Yeah.
We got out to a great start.
Yeah, no, we certainly jumped out of the blocks beautifully. Yeah, we just needed to keep that going for the next 3 quarters, and we would have been fine, but... unfortunately, GWS are a pretty good team and found ways to counteract that. And, they got on top of us in the remainder of the game, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll get into the details of individual performances, but I think I'm sure their performance was no surprise to us, the opposition. They've sort of had the wood over us here. We had a pretty good record up there. We'd sort of been trading blows and on home deck. Mm-hmm. But they responded well, and they're a team that I guess the broader media is saying perhaps the latter position doesn't reflect their best footy and where they could be come the end of the season.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They've got so much talent across every line. The Giants, and I don't think any team ever takes them lightly, just purely off the fact that they can take a game away from you in a short space of time with the talent that they've got. We have some good battles with them. They obviously, even the ones that they've won here, they haven't been by much. We always have a really good game against them either way. But they had probably a few of their players play some of their best games for the year, with Cadman stepping up and kicking 6, and even Stringer kicking 4. Some of their forwards really came to play. And we probably had a couple of our forwards a little bit sore as well, which didn't help.
Yeah, I'll get into questioning about that. But how did you overall with the game? It looked from the telly like it sort of ebbed and flowed, but even the momentum. We kicked a couple in succession. They did, but then did the scoring sort of halt for a bit there too? It sort of seems like a strange game momentum-wise.
Yeah, there's certainly, AFL footy really is a game of momentum these days. But it certainly became that arm wrestle after probably we kicked the first 3 and then they really piled on a few, and then it became an arm wrestle from there, which is often the way because coaches find ways to get the game back on their terms. Sometimes you can sort of wrestle it back to even, but it's hard to wrestle it back completely into your advantage. And to the Giants' credit, the different things that we tried throughout the game didn't quite get the job done on the day.
But as you said, there was some talent that really shone for both sides. I think young emerging key forwards are a hot topic in the competition at the moment. Unfortunately for us, Cadman decided to play perhaps not just his best footy, but the best footy of his career.
That'd be his career best game. It'd have to be. He was kicking them from everywhere.
Yeah, a couple of them were from outside 50, right?
Yeah.
It looks pretty nice on the left too.
Yeah, no, it sort of reminded me of a bit of a breakout game of a young Tom Hawkins at a similar age. So I think, he won't necessarily do that every week, but you can see that he's going to be a pretty prestigious talent going forward.
That's not to say that, the likes of Connor O'Sullivan also had good games. They were up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you just get beat.
Yeah, and the ball was coming in pretty quick, to be fair to a couple of our young backs as well, at different stages. So, they certainly had their hands full with, Cadman and Stringer and Green all playing some really good games. But we also had one shining light up forward, I thought, as well.
Yeah, let's talk about him.
Big Scratcher Neil, he's doing some really good things, I think. And talking about players that, you can see it's sort of starting to come together. He's certainly one for me that's even the ones he's not marking at the moment, he's making like a real solid contest. And they had some really good backs, like some really tall jumping backs, and he took some really good contested marks against those guys, and if not, brought it to ground. So I think that's the difference you're seeing him from probably 2 years ago. He was sort of flying at it, but not necessarily always getting his timing right, bringing it to ground. Whereas now, you put it in his area, you know what you're going to get. He's still got a lot of improvement left in him.
No doubt. I think we look at his physique and think 25, 26, but he's not. He's still he's still in his early 20s.
Yep.
I'd really love, to your point, I'd love to see the Coleman race. Well, not Coleman race, but goals kicked in the past 5 to 10 weeks. I feel like he, has regularly. He kicked 5 this week, but he's regularly kicking 4 now.
Yep.
Really providing that. Well, I don't say right hand man, but
yeah,
Jez doing his thing,
and
he's becoming his own target.
Yeah.
And speaking about becoming his own target and his own man, I think we can put to side the filling Tom Hawkins' boots every second shot at goal. It's commentators. I know you want to say something, but enough's enough. Because they're so completely different players, and to repeat ourselves, I'm getting defensive here, but
no, I love it. I love it.
But that's that is my nature. He's a player in his own right. He's a very different player, and he's it's not I'm kicking 1 goal every 2 weeks, and I'm going to say that I'm kicking 4 to 5 goals regularly, and I'll turn it over to you. What can we offer them about Scratch that they could add to their repertoire of things to say when he's taking his 30 and having a set shot?
Well, he's a much better runner than Hawk was, to begin with. They're very different.
And end with to begin with, and end with.
Yeah, let's end with it as well. No, he was an athlete growing up, 400-meter runner, pure athlete. Hawk was more just.
Footy.
Yeah, a bit of footy, but he had a bit of puppy fat even coming into his early years, and then started to really develop his running as he got older. So, they are completely different characters. Like Scratch is from WA, Hawk's from Finley. So they're from different parts of Australia, different parts of the world, and see the game differently. And as this generation does compared to the old boys, that he's got different interests. He's into his music, his DJing.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a really interesting character and a good character to have around the footy club. It keeps things really light and upbeat.
He seems, maybe he's taken a leaf out of your book here, but he seems to be very good at the old acknowledgements post, whether it's who's kicked it to me for my goal or who's set up someone else's goal. I think I regularly sit behind the goals here at GMHBA and you look at him once the play's finished, and he seems to take it upon himself to drive morale in the forward line. Yeah,
he really values that, acknowledging how things happen and how a goal came to be, even acknowledges the runner. I love to get out there for a goal. If he's got around everyone else, he'll look around and see me coming, and he'll beeline over to me for a high five, which I love. So I think it's important to have those characters in your team that when things are going well or not so well, that they're looking for ways to acknowledge their teammates and make them feel good about what they're doing.
Now I have a regular segment on the show. Let's call it the show. This podcast called Meg's Memo. It's been a bit quiet for a couple of weeks. So producer Jackie suggested we have a little bit of a chat about Byrnesy's Babble. So some highlights. I think it's celebrated by our audience every time that you're on, that we get a little insight to the life of a runner. Let's go over the past 2 weeks, because I would like to have a chat to you about George Stevens' debut as well.
Yeah.
He was awesome. Had another go at it this weekend. What has stood out to you in the past fortnight or so from your experience of the game?
Well, let me start with George Stevens.
Let's start there.
Because I'm a big fan of George's. And this is a bit of a spiel I gave when he got his jumper presentation last week. But our first...
I've got to ask you about that. Continue.
Our first impression of George was at the Warrnambool Community Camp 2 years ago.
Local hero.
Yeah, absolutely. Like he's massive in Warrnambool. I'm just going to put that out there. But when we got there, normally for these camps we have young kids that train with the team, which is a really good experience for them, and maybe some of our recruiters are looking at them. On this occasion, a couple of old guys running around. So felt a bit strange. I thought, okay, maybe Wellsy's looking for a mature age recruit.
Yeah.
And then anyway, I asked a few questions around as the session went on, and it turned out that 28-year-old veteran was a 17-year-old George Stevens. So
that's brilliant.
He's a mature age body at that age. I couldn't believe how old he was. But coming into the footy club, mature in mind. He's been a leader from the moment he's come in, and we're really lucky with that group that we got 2 years ago. Connor O'Sullivan, Lawson Humphreys, these guys naturally lead. We had Sean Manor in that group as well.
Was Ted in that group?
Ted's the year before. So yeah, we've just been really lucky with young guys that naturally comes to them, that they bring others along with them, and George is a great example of that. Every week he's putting out to the chat, boys, let's get him for extra touch.
Yep.
He's one of those guys that's just super professional with everything that he does. Not only, physically, but he watches a lot of vision and prepares himself really well. So speaking to him after his first game, it's no surprise that he was ready for that moment because of how he prepared himself. And it was a great example for a lot of guys in our academy that haven't played a game yet, but how well you can prepare yourself for that moment just by how you go about it until you get your chance. And it took him weeks of really good footy before he actually got that look in.
Yeah. Anything from the GWS game that stood out?
Or
that we can reassure Cats fans. Not that Cats fans be worried, but you've lost. We have lost two now to a team that we may well meet again come the end of the year if both teams make it. But to speak to the maturity of the group, I also think it's a team that we say all the time takes this kind of thing in their stride, respects an opposition team playing well, and moves on.
Yeah, no, they're a really good team. I don't think we should dismiss the fact that we played bad and that's the only reason they won. They're a really good team. But we did have some players down, and like I said, we had a couple of sore boys.
Yeah, and they got sore during the game.
Yeah,
is that right?
yeah. Jez copped a pretty good knock early in the game, and he was unable to do the things that he normally does up the ground. He was sort of stuck deep, as most people would have noticed for most of the game. So, that's a pretty big lever to have in your team to pull at any stage to get Jez up into the game. We didn't have that, and I could come up with a fair few excuses as to why things didn't go the way that they wanted to, but that'd be taking away too much credit from the opposition. But I think the good thing is that we've got a really proud group of guys, and they were really honest with how they played. I remember Max coming in after the game, he's like, well, I played like crap. He's just just straight away, that's just how he is. He's just honest in his own assessment. But
that helps the team, and that helps the individual move on.
Exactly.
You sort of, if you own it, you just
I think it's so much better. It used to be just you didn't play well. Everyone's just
oh no,
straight
to the showers.
No one mention it. No one talk about anything.
Yeah.
Whereas these guys just put it all out there. It's just that was horrible. And then they address it straight away and look for ways to make themselves better for the next week. So I've got, have confidence, and I've got no doubt that they're too proud to have a couple of down weeks, and bullish about them responding this week.
Yeah. Now, before we've spoken about Scratch, but there are a couple of other players who certainly did play well. Brian Myers did his thing again.
Brilliant,
Sean Manor got us off to a great start. Anyone else stand out to you? Stewie was on early. He was another one who
29 touches.
If he comes down from another aerial contest and with a limp, I'm gonna be I get sad every time.
I know. He just
even
goes
though he's
so
all
hard
good,
at the
but I'm
footy.
like, he's
He crashes into him. Really.
Would he have to be? Not that you've physically run into him, but would you? He would be.
I physically run into him every game because I'm on the bump bag before every game, and I get lifted about 3 or 4 meters every time he comes through the bump bag. So
he looks like you do. It's for people watching at home. Just these ones and break a finger.
Yeah,
it's one of those.
Some players just hit hard, and he hits really hard.
Speaking of, just side note, it was announced that Nathan Brown is joining our team as our midfield coach. Really exciting.
Yeah, awesome.
I had my first. Well, actually, all of us had our first bump bag experience with Brownie yesterday.
Didn't hold back, did he?
Oh, he didn't.
Come on, Brownie.
I was like the kick receive, and I'm looking up the ground as Becky Webster. So it was a tackle him on the bag, reset, ground ball against him on the bag. And she's gone in for the tackle, and genuinely, boom, boom, hit the deck afterwards. He didn't generate any force, but he just braced.
I know we don't say kilos these days, but he's over 100 kilos, Big Brownie, surely. That's a lot of...
You would have played against him?
Yeah, I did, yeah. That's a lot of human.
It's a lot of human. I think I overheard him saying that he was from probably one of the last generations of my job is back shoulder key to like defender, and I'm just gonna kill the ball. So I stand to learn a lot. That'll be fun. But that's been great. But if a bump bag, it's dangerous areas.
Yeah, no. But Stewie, back to what you're saying, Stewie was great. Ollie Dempsey, I thought, had some really good moments as well. I think between Stewie and Jack Henry, they had 12 intercept grabs. So
that's a crazy amount of marks, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So things. There were a lot of things that were still working. But back to my original comment, the other team were pretty good as well.
Good. We kept Hogan to a goal, which is no mean feat.
Yeah, I spoke to him after the game. He was a bit sore too as a forward himself.
We can make excuses for our team.
We better not make excuses for them. But
no, we've been all over the shop. But thank you for helping review the game that I didn't attend, but you were right up in the thick of, and for driving team morale and focus on to the next week. We'll get towards the game against the Saints a bit later in the pod, but suffice to say that's another team we've lost to earlier in the season, so no shortage of motivation to tip them over.
We owe those guys.
Into what you've said is quite positive news. Geelong VFL won by 50 points against GWS, so they made the trip for the same game on the same day. And I'm going to steal your words and lead you in by saying you said off air that I always say off air as if this isn't pre-recorded. Off air, that it was the best VFL performance for the year. Give me the highlights.
Yeah, I stand by those words, off air and on air.
Yep.
It was the best performance of the year. We had so many great performances individually, but as a team, obviously they've won really well. To single out a few, Jacob Mollier, second game for the club, kicked 4 goals, potentially 5. There was one taken off him on the goal line,
the ARC didn't get involved?
No, there's no ARC in the VFL, so he's probably...
What must that feel like?
I'm not sure. But he was a bit stiff not to get 5, which is just a really good performance for his second game of VFL football. And a lot to like there. Ted Closey doing his thing, 31 disposals, 10 tackles. He just does it every week. He's just one of those guys, you just know what you're going to get, an every-time player. And it was great to see Jai Clark come back from concussion with 30 touches, straight back into he certainly didn't make him go at the contest any less because of that.
Can I ask you a question about those guys? How much of it is your job to drive sort of morale, sentiment, engagement and motivation around a group that I presume is all of a similar age and all vying for midfield minutes in an AFL team? You've got Closey, Clark, Nevitt. We've spoken about George. How does how do you see the ability for those guys to get around each other and be mates, and whilst also knowing at the same time that there's limited opportunity that'll go to one or two of them on any given week?
Yeah, well, that's what the academy is really about, driven so well by Nigel Lappin and Mark Corrigan, is giving the players an understanding of, this is their apprenticeship in a lot of ways. Like, some clubs do it a little bit differently and, throw them straight in. But here it's really valued that they have a good 2 years of really learning the game and their craft potentially before they get it. They might get their go a bit earlier than that. But I guess a way to accelerate that apprenticeship is to help each other out and not go it alone. And that's what I touched on earlier with George, bringing guys in for extra touch. All those guys that you've just mentioned are the group that come in for that extra work.
I can attest to that, see them in all the time.
Yeah, and each week, we have shout outs in our team meeting as to, what you loved in your teammates' game. And I think that they genuinely are happy for each other when they get their go, but also understanding that if they do the right things, eventually their time's going to come as well.
Yeah, no, well said. Before we move on from the VFL, Tobin Murray also kicked 5 goals for the Cats, so no doubt contributed to the 50-point
kicked 4 in one quarter.
As you do.
Yeah, he was. It was a really special game from one of our VFL boys, Tobin. And the other one I wanted to mention was Mitch Edwards, who has been back for a couple of weeks, but just took some really strong contested marks around the ground, 207 centimetres. It's just good to see him get through a game and have some really strong contests. Yeah,
how's he tracking? Because I know there was significant excitement about him in the pre-season, but as is the case with the young tall, you've got to get your body through the rigours.
Yeah, and I never want to pump them up too much or create too much expectation. He's doing his apprenticeship as well,
totally,
but the signs are just there. He's just a competitive person by nature. You'll see him chase down like guys half his size after giving a big contest in the air, and that sort of stuff you can't teach. It's just sort of that's the stuff that players sometimes just have in them, and that's what I love about Mitch. He is going to take a little bit of time, but anyone who watched the VFL game on the weekend would have seen some of the contested grabs he took, and
I'm going to have an eye on this competitiveness because he's one where you wouldn't pick it walking through he sort of floats.
Yeah, well, he's another WA boy who, by nature off field he is pretty relaxed and laid back, but he's got sort of that white line fever type.
We've got a few of those who are very good at football, so
that's right.
That's how to be.
Exactly.
I'll take some notes myself. Relax.
Chill out. Relax, chill.
The Geelong VFLW team lost by 7 points, but another really strong performance from the team, and the team is sort of, I think, building in the second half of the season and really getting some reward for some of the tough times they did earlier on where they copped a few losses, but now they're getting really, really solid performances into them. So Favel had 23 touches, Mickey Morrissey had 15 touches and 6 tackles, and Steph O'Kane kicked 2 goals. So well done to those girls. VFL round 17 sees the Cats play the Pies Saturday the 19th at Whitten Oval, 7:10 p.m. So a little taster before the...
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it is correct. It's a bit of a neutral venue.
What's going on there? Ooh.
Channel 7 game, there you go. Producer Jake coming through with the goods
Make down the highway.
Yeah. It's I'll be at that game to see if the boys can continue on their good form. They're really...
It's good to get some practice beating the Pies in general, isn't it?
Well, that's true. We love that, don't we?
It's also a Cats v Pies in the VFLW round 13. Deakin University, 1:05 p.m. On Saturday as well. So as Lee likes to push... Plenty of Cats footy this weekend, everyone. 1 o'clock Deakin, plenty of time to get up to Whitten Oval and back down. I wanted to write in, guys. If you're doing that, if you're attending all 3, like producer
impressed.
Jake and
I'll be there at most of them, so I can verify it. I'm on you.
All right, now as the weeks tick over, the AFLW season is fast approaching. I've got under 2 weeks until a practice game. Did you know that?
No, and I wanted to say well done. Sorry, I was meant to do that off the top. 6 years. That's
Oh,
awesome.
thank you. I put it in those terms. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Getting on.
Yeah, that's really no. Honestly, I know you've probably already done this with Lingy and everything, but it's an awesome achievement.
Thank you, mate.
Super-
I haven't done it with Lingy, so I appreciate you.
Well,
saying
yeah,
that.
you should be super proud. 6 years is amazing. Pretty sure it's a club record. Not
Well, the club's it's in its infancy, the team, so I don't know that it'll stand for an awfully long time. But very very proud to have it for the for the time being, and I'll save my. I'm going to have I think a chat to producer Jakey about it later. But it's special. It's an honour, but it's also exciting to be at a time where the next generation of leaders is really apparent and evident and doing every bit as much to lead the team forward. And I'll attend a few more functions than them perhaps, but they'll be just as important on field as I am. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, there are some great leaders down there, but they've been under your tutelage for
Thank you, Byrnesy.
for many years, and often that's where they get their grounding. So I just wanted to personally give you my congratulations, and I'm pumped for the season. See what you girls can do.
Let's go.
Come on.
Speaking of, the countdown to the 2025 AFLW season is on. As I've said, that means that on August 7th, we will be officially kicking off the season with our season launch. I haven't got the call up yet, but I'm sure you might be hearing from me, but you'll be hearing from me and a host of other players and staff as we share insights ahead of round one, while also getting to see our new recruits during the jumper presentation. Get your tickets online now. You can get to the Cats website to sign on up. I think even you might even be hearing from one of my mates, Claudia Gunjaja, I think she's emceeing.
Right.
To the men's, we've got 3 games still remaining at GMHBA Stadium. Don't miss out on the 3-game family, food and footy memberships. Now, this is obviously a read off the sheet, but I did my pre-reading and I've read the details of this 3-gamer. And I was
impressed
like,
with this.
I got to get myself a little family.
Get myself a family.
Get myself a family. Because with that 3-game membership, GA, general admission access to the next 3 games at GMHBA Stadium for 2 adults and up to 4 children, and a $100 food and beverage voucher to use in the Joel Selwood stand. Priority access to buy tickets in weeks 1 to 3 of finals, and you can use the promo code CATSFAMILY to unlock this package at membership.geelongcats.com.au. So if you take the $100 to feed 2 adults and up to 4 kids, you're getting 3 games for up to 6 people for $143.
It's hard to beat that value.
How good's my math?
That's
So
very good.
I was more
just
of an
nodded.
English girl. Yeah.
Like,
No, you can't beat that value. So sign it up, get on board. It's a good time to be in and around the Cattery. So we'll see a bunch of you there. We've got open training today, so you won't hear this before that, but just know that you and I are going to be heading out there and meeting people on school holidays and seeing a bunch of them at the footy on Sunday. We will get to that and some fan questions after this little break.
Winning a three-peat isn't easy, but at GMHBA Health Insurance, that's exactly what we've done. By winning the 2024 CanStar Outstanding Value Hospital Cover in Victoria 3 years running.
GMHBA have been caring for the Geelong community since 1934 and are proud supporters of the mighty Geelong Cats. Join at gmhba.com.au. Alrighty, welcome back. I'm here with Byrnesy. Now, thank you for submitting your fan questions. Each and every week. We'll get to a couple of them. You kindly congratulated me off the top, so we'll leave that one. But thanks at Jesse.
Oh, right. Sorry, Jesse, but you
might be a colleague of mine. We'll see. Now, love this one from Jonty. Which player do you think will have a big last 6 weeks? Or hopefully next 6 weeks, and then another 4 after that.
Yeah, there's a number of players that could apply to.
At least 22 each week, hopefully.
Yeah. I don't know. You'd like to think that, our stars are going to stand up anyway, so let's not go down that path of the sort of the Holmes and Smith one and the Jezzers. I think Ollie Dempsey, I know he's already sort of arrived in some ways, but He's the type of player, just the way that he plays the game, the way he's able to run every week, that I think as the season gets on, most guys get a little bit tired.
Yeah.
He does get tired, but it doesn't seem to affect his running
Yeah.
and his jumping. So he's one that I think as the year goes on, his running becomes even more valuable. I don't want to, there's enough pressure on him as it is, but I think he's a guy that can do some special things and produce some moments that are, I guess, the pointy end of the year often create. So see someone like him, and I'm very forward biased with this. So
you can be forward biased.
Yeah.
You got to score to win a game.
Yeah, like Grind's the other one.
Yeah.
Shawnee Manor, and Brad Close is someone that's so undersold in that group. He's someone that just plays. Talk about playing your role. Like a lot of, he plays it to the whatever he's told. He just does it, even if it's at the expense of him kicking a couple of extra goals. Like you would have seen him give Jezzy's 700th goal. He could have easily snapped that himself. He's the type of guy that just thinks team always, and you just need those guys. They're the ones that make the stars shine. So he's another one I want to give some love to.
Good shout. From Alex22, how good was Scratcher? Another 5-goal game and could be huge in finals. Now, we've spent a fair bit of time on this performance so far,
run,
but
I reckon.
I think I will say how good in finals. If he is one of those that has a good next 6 weeks, I think it's going to be really good to go into finals with having sort of raised the floor, we say, or raised your sort of average of your performance, which he's certainly been doing. You don't want to. I mean, you can go in knowing that you have a 6-goal game in you, but going in knowing that you regularly kick 4 or 5 is such a good place to be, a good base. So very good is how good he was. When is the first AFLW practice match? Thank you, Alicia. We have match simulation on Saturday the 26th of July at 1 p.m, RSEA Park. So we're not doing any of our practices at GMHBA. We'll save that. We'll save the good stuff for the season proper. But that, my friend, is in under 2 weeks. So
exciting. Love it.
Get ready to go.
Yeah.
That's against St Kilda. We'll head to the Gold Coast the week after that to
get some sun.
Lose a lot of sweat during the game. Risk the cramp.
It's a good prep, the Goldie game before a season.
I love we get it regularly, and I love it. Because it's always good to get away together. I find, I don't know how you guys go, but because you do it so much more regularly during a year than we do, but we travel sort of 3 times a year, so it's always like exciting to.
I love
hotel
interstate
bed
games.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so good, so good.
Last one. How many games can the boys still win this year?
How many have we got left?
6.
Well, we can still win 6.
We can absolutely still win 6, and then some.
Yeah.
We made a point recently when we were celebrating Scotty's 350th that I think one of the great joys and the great gifts he's given Geelong people, along with the entire football department, is the belief that you can win each and every week.
Yeah.
And each and every year.
Absolutely.
And that's a massive privilege as a footy supporter.
Yeah. No, you need to go in with that mindset. So yeah, we'll start with 6 and work from there.
Yeah, that's the end of the fans, but I'm a fan as well, so I'm just going to throw one in of my own. I've really battled with my bedtimes recently. I'm still being good, but Wimbledon's been on, and the Tour de France has been on. I'm getting a lot of European summer sport in me, but I gather there's a more important tournament happening, and more consequential, much more acclaim attached to it. Tell me about the table tennis situation.
Thank you, Lucky Stars, and it's not on TV because you'd be up all night.
Okay,
watching replays and highlights of it. But it's the GFC Table Tennis Open, which is currently on at the moment. So we're into the quarterfinals. So it's getting to the point.
GFC AFL team. I mean, you wouldn't be threatened by some serious talent in the women's.
Well, we're open.
We should have our own and then have like a Champions League.
Yeah.
Champions, that's great.
Let's talk.
Champions
League.
All
right.
No, continue though. Because you are, you've made the quarters.
Yeah, I'm in the quarters.
You're in the quarters.
Yeah, I'll give you the quarters matchups. So we've got Byrnes v Toby Conway.
Yeah.
And as I'm going through, I've given the players aliases.
Yes.
Just to, so
who's Byrnes?
Byrnes is Rafa. So
Okay.
yeah, I've gone straight to the top there.
Yeah.
I'm a left-hander, left-hand
Yeah.
whip. I can see, the
Do you
similarities.
finish your follow through over your head?
Yeah, I bring it right around.
Yeah.
It's time consuming, but it gets extra spin.
Yeah.
And then Toby Conway's John Isner, for those who follow their tennis.
Massive
Will
serve.
know he's 6'10".
Good on grass.
He's a big unit.
Yeah.
Very good on grass. And then we've got Nigel Lappin v Mark O'Connor.
Yeah.
I've given Nige Pete Sampras. He's from an era gone by. Got a similar sort of hairstyle. He's classy. And then Mark O'Connor, I was looking for Irish tennis players, and there are not
Few
many.
and far between.
I'm sorry, Ireland. There mustn't be many courts over there. So I've gone across the pond to the UK, and Tim Henman is Mark O'Connor. Brian Myers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is anyone Andy Murray, or have you gone? You've given him Henman
No,
instead
I feel
of Murray?
like he looks a bit more like Henman than Murray. So
Maybe you couldn't go. It's like, do you go with another sort of Celtic? No, you just go to the arch.
Yeah,
arch
I don't
rival,
think he's
just
happy with
straight
it.
to England.
yeah,
No, okay.
So that's going to be a good matchup, and then we've got Brian Myers v Ted Closey. So that's I've given Brian Sitsipas. I just feel like he's got that sort of vibe about him, and then Ted Closey just shows up, and you have to win the point against Ted. So he's Alex Diminor.
Yeah. I thought you might have gone with Leighton, but you've gone with Leighton 2.0. Yeah.
I have. Either or. He could have been in that matchup. And then we've got Sean Manor v Lawson Humphreys. And Lawson's got a two-handed backhand, which is rare in the.
I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. You finish, and then I'll say what I'm going to say.
So Laws, I've given him Novak for that reason. He's very hard to win a point against, and the two-handed backhand's very similar to Novak's. And then I've got Stan Wawrinka for Shawnee Manor. He's very good player, but I just can't see him winning it. He's just one of those guys that'll get there, but
he's one of very few players of that generation outside the big four that have won a Grand Slam.
I know. He has won one, so he's got a chance, Shawnee. But
he's got a massive single-handed backhand down the line.
It's good to watch. What were you going to say about Laws?
Obviously we were in the so I was aware that there was a tournament happening, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was playing you, if he was having a warm up against you or playing one of the earlier rounds.
Right, must have been.
And he's rolled out the double-handed backhand, right? Now he played tennis growing up, right?
He did.
I played tennis growing up, and I looked at Nina, who's I've played a bit of table tennis against, and I said, "Look at that." Double-handed backhand.
Yeah.
Me too.
In table tennis?
Yes, in table tennis as well.
Wow.
Now, it's not what you'll see at the Olympics, but at this level, the translation of tennis court to table tennis court, I'm a double-handed.
Wow.
It's so satisfying.
I can't doubt it because it works for him.
I don't know if Nina still gets me, but did you know, just a fun fact for everyone, did you know Nina actually played for a couple of seasons ago, played for a local club with her dad on Wednesday night. Get by
listening to this podcast, Nina Morrison.
Nina Morrison played table tennis on a Wednesday night with Dougal.
I have seen the stadium. Is it on Church Street down there? Is it somewhere around there?
Stadium's a strong word for what I thought she was doing, but
no, it's big. It's big. There's a big table tennis.
Is that where the grand final is?
Well, it should be. Actually, you've given me. Maybe it will be. It deserves an audience and a crowd.
We've got to set it up. We've got to at least wheel it into the warm-up area so we can stand around.
All right. Well, I reckon I could work with.
They're like, what is culture? Culture is this stuff like this.
Yeah. Gaz is a very good table tennis player.
Did the mics hear that question from producer Jake? He's asked, is it true that the one and only Gary Ablett Jr. came in to play Lawson in a friendly that the friendly nature of it didn't last too long?
Yeah, Gaz is very competitive.
Yeah.
And he's very good. I will say that. But
it's been said before about him. He's very competitive and very good.
Yeah. He didn't bring his best for this game, and Laws got on top of him, and you could just see just the little ticks and gaz as the game went on. And he wants to come back for revenge. So we might even get Gaz along to the final.
So is he number 1 seed, Lawson Humphries?
Well,
or you're at the top of the draw. Looking over your shoulder, you're at the top of the draw.
Yeah, I've got number 1.
He's number 2 then.
Lawson's 2, but it could have gone.
So you can't meet till the final.
Could have gone either way, but Rafa v Novak in the final.
I was just saying, you were saying earlier that the format's best of 3.
Yeah.
But open to. Yeah,
so it's best of 3 to 21, but if there's a gentleman's agreement between the two that are playing, they might want to play 5. We've currently got a game, best of 7, Myers and Closey, going on at the moment.
Best of 7.
Yeah.
So. The longer the sets, the less upsets there are.
Yeah, and
that's why
I feel like the ones that are asking for that many sets are a little bit worried about getting rolled early and not bringing their best early. But you probably
will get right. So not to get into it here, but the reason that the Big Four are, one of the reasons they're so good at the majors is because you might be able to grab a set or 2 off them and win a best of 3, but you can't grab 3 sets off them.
Across the journey, you're probably going to get beaten. Agree with that. But I'd say the final will definitely be best of 5.
Yeah. All right. Love that. I'll be there. Don't be shy in advertising date and time.
It's publicly out there now.
Do you time it? Do you time it in accordance with when certain players just need a bit of a confidence?
Yeah.
Or do you keep it outside? Like if I did that the day before a match and I lost, I don't think it'd bode well.
No, that's true. That's a risk that the player takes.
Yeah.
As soon as you decide to play, I can't empathise with that.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. We've got a big game this weekend against St Kilda, round 19 of the AFL season already. It's Cats v Saints, Sunday 20th of July, GMHBA Stadium, 1:10 p.m. What a beautiful time for the families to get to the Cattery. Plenty of those in the AFLW season as well. So there's a host of afternoon football coming up for the rest of the year. And to that point, what is your favourite childhood footy memory? Well, or adulthood. What's a family memory at the footy that really stands out for you?
Well, mine, I actually didn't barrack for the Cats growing up, but I went to a lot of Cats games, and my childhood memories, Dad bringing me to the Cats game, and I was just encaptured by Gaz Senior.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you as much as what happened in that game because I pretty much sat in the forward pocket and just stared at Senior the whole game. But just remembering being that close to someone with that kind of aura about them, I feel like Jez has that kind of feel. So you're bringing your kid along, I'm sure they're going to have a similar experience, just staring at Jez in the pocket. But it's just special as a family, as a kid, to get along to an AFL game of footy, and the memories that I can remember as well as any, really, from my childhood. I lived in the country, so I didn't get to as many games. I think sometimes we might take it for granted that those who live in Geelong have it at their doorstep. But it's so special for kids to get along, and today that you'll see that with the open training session, just how much they love it. We have a lot of night games these days. So I think you just got to take advantage of these games when they're at perfect time to bring your kids along. The twilight ones are another good opportunity, but 1:10 couldn't be better. And I think get as many kids as we possibly can.
Yeah, how good. Mine was certainly, as you say, it's going to the footy with Dad. My dad worked at North Melbourne for a long time, and just the sense of, it's probably led to a little bit of podcasting now, but how inner sanctum I felt when the game would happen. He's part of the medical team, so you're not talking footy during the game. Dad's at work and I'm just trying to hang around and not get confused as to which pair of blue pants I should hug.
Yeah.
But sitting in the back seat as we drove home, Dad had dropped the other physio off on the way home, and they would dissect the game, and I just remember sitting there being like, I want all the goss.
Yeah.
I want all the thoughts, and I want to know it all. I want to know what you actually thought, who played well, who played badly. Let's have a chat about it. So yeah, that was definitely one of my favourite things, and that was back in the day when, like, as just a family member of someone who was at the club, the MCG used to have the race that kind of went. I'm pretty sure you went up the race and then along the boundary.
Yeah,
The race sort of went along the boundary before
yeah.
you ran out.
Yes.
And just like not getting a ticket, but just like leaning over the fence and watching from the
Yeah.
race. And it's, as you say, it's the up close and personal. As a kid, when you're that close to the boundary line and they're just
Nothing better.
hitting bodies. So that opportunity is open to all of you this Saturday. Let's get to the footy and enjoy watching them go about it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, here.
Any further thoughts on the St Kilda game? Just stop there on and carry.
Yeah, well, no,
We hate the slingshot.
they've got a lot of good players. It's certainly like this competition these days. You only need to be a little bit off. We've seen it so many examples of it this year. But like Jack Steele, Windhager, Wangani Malira, Sinclair, Higgins, Wilkie, Marshall. Like they've got some good players. They've really been blown out of the water this year is probably another thing as well. It's not one of those games where you come and you're like, geez, I hope we just smash them here today. I think the Bulldogs are probably the only ones that have really got a handle on them this year. So we expect a tough game against this team, and Ross Lyon makes it that. Yeah, he makes it that way. He makes it hard for you. So
Lingy likes to talk about the history of Cats v Saints and some of the big games. What do you got for me on that front?
We've had some big battles against them. And I still sort of feel that like we were really pitted against them as a playing group. Like it was sort of St Kilda and Hawthorn were two teams that we really steeled ourselves a little bit for.
Yep.
Like we had some similar type players in our lineup. They had sort of Delcano, Montagna, Graham, Rewalt, Ball, Hayes, Milne, Geary, these types, and they were sort of pitted as the next big thing early on in their journey. And I feel very fortunate to be part of those games growing up. That round 14 game at Marvel 2009. They got the win in that one. Gardner took that great grab, but we were fortunate enough to win the one that mattered at the end of the year that year as well. So,
So take that.
Yeah, any Saints supporters. 16 years later, take that.
They're still calling it a rematch.
Yeah. I see it that way. It's weird, and I think a lot of supporters feel that way. Like there's games from years gone by that they still like. We're getting you back for that.
Yeah. And you've got a group of players now who probably didn't go for the Cats or the Saints back then.
No.
They probably, half of them weren't, or they're at least very young. But to the supporters, as you say, it's just yesterday.
Yeah.
The feelings are the same.
Just for that. And it's like, I think that player was born when that happened. Like, yeah, that's right. It's just the way we remember things and hold on to things, I think. So like I still feel like there's a bit of feeling there, especially if not for our young players that weren't born, it certainly is for the supporters. So let's hope we can get one back at least for this year. You'll all remember that one.
Yeah, that's a good point, as will the boys. So, all right, Byrnesy, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, it's
to
been
the
great.
final bell.
Thank you.
You're my fave, so don't worry about the...
Wow, did you hear that, Reg?
Yeah.
He needs to know that.
He needs to know. We're a fair way away from the game, so you've got plenty of time to get your tickets, plan your weekend, get to the footy on Sunday. We'll find out much later in the week how the team's shaping up. We've got a health update coming out today. I'm sure there will be a few names that people are looking out for, but generally speaking, it's a beautiful day here in Geelong. The weather's improving, even though it's July. And we're looking forward to a gorgeous day on Sunday. So see you there.
Forward to the open session today.
Yes, too right. We'll get our Sharpies out and head down, shall we?
Yeah, I might get one person remember me. Who knows? You never know.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, mate.